Welcome, I bought another Facebook ad trading indicator, this one being the most expensive one yet, called Big Move Algo. $309, now $179 for lifetime. Who could turn down that offer? This is way more expensive than the other two that I just reviewed, so hopefully it puts out some decent results for the price tag. I bought it. I have it on my chart right here. You can see what it looks like. I have it at default settings with balanced signals right at this moment. We're going to go over and see the different features of this. I'll do a back test of 100 trades based on what they say to do with this indicator. They have some instructions here, but it does need some help. So I did have to add an EMA for a higher time frame trend direction and an ATR for a stop loss placement. So I did need to help it out already. I was hoping that for this price I wouldn't need to help it out with my own indicators, but it does require some help, unfortunately. But we'll see what the results are from the 100 back test. Let's just cover what I'm going to be testing and the basics of this indicator. So this indicator, it only actually has one indicator total. Here's the pricing here, version 3 for 179. That's what I got. And essentially, this is it right here. It's called Big Move Algo V3.1. This is all you get. There's not a lot here. All it does is color the bars, give you long, short signals, and take profit signals. That's it, nothing else. And so you have the ability for auto mode or manual mode, balanced signals, dynamic signals, and safe signals. Dynamic signals, I'll switch it, will give you crazy, insane number of signals all over the place. And then balanced signals is what I tested it on. Safe signals is pretty similar to balanced signals, just slightly less. But you can kind of get the gist of the indicator. It's pretty simple. Short signals, long signals, and then the gray area, which just means ranging action. So here you can see it gives fake trend detection, gray candles, close all and don't open new positions. Trend is no longer identifiable. So it specifically says for the gray candles, close all positions. So I'm going to be doing that for the strategy. If it goes gray, I'm going to close the position on the back test. And then taking profit at the yellow candle. So when it gives a take profit signal, I will take profit at the first take profit. And I will close it if it flips from one color to the next. So it says to do that. If let's see, why take profit signal didn't appear or appeared more than once. Yeah, so sometimes it doesn't give a take profit signal. So it does say to just close the position if it flips to red from green or green to red or from green to gray or red to gray, okay? Just to get kind of the basics out there of what I'm going to be doing. But let's just cover some actual trade setups so you guys know what I'm going to be testing here for 100 trades. And just so you know, I accidentally tested it 108 times just because I was writing it down and I just lost track of where I was at. So this is what it's going to look like. We have a 200 period EMA for the higher time frame trend because I could not get it to be profitable without a higher time frame trend direction indicator. And then we have ATR stop loss indicator. This is going to be at 1 ATR above or below the entry candle for the stop loss placement, okay? Because they don't give you a stop loss method. I wish that these indicators would give some sort of strategy to go along with them. That would be nice. The other one that I had that I already made a video on that did give a strategy, it gave a specific strategy, but it wasn't profitable. It actually lost money in the test. So this is what this one's going to be like. I put it together. It's going to look like this. We go long signal above the 200 EMA. We're going to go long. Okay. Stop loss 1 ATR below. And you can see this one just gets stopped out right away. That's fine. Here we got another green, right? Stop loss goes to the ATR stop loss. We're going to take profit right here. So in this specific trade, we get a 1 to 1.57 risk to reward ratio. That one's a winner. Let's go for a short right here. So we're now getting a short signal red underneath the 200 EMA right here. And then we go stop loss to the 1 ATR. And here's a take profit signal. We're going to close out like that. And another thing I forgot to mention is I will be going break even with the stop loss at a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. So if price goes 1-to-2 like this, then I go break even on the stop loss. So there's no risk anymore on that. So that's what it's going to look like. That's a 1 to 1.34 risk to reward ratio there. We come down here. We get another short signal under the 200 EMA. We take it. This one gets stopped out. This one clearly is not a winner. It literally shorts the exact bottom. Let's see what we have. This gives another terrible short signal right here. Here's one that looks like it is a winner. Short. You guys get the idea. It's so simple. We go into gray here, and then that's going to be where we exit the trade. Okay, so that's a winner. It's a 1 to 1.19 risk to reward ratio. And then you can see this one right here where we go short, stop loss, and then we just exit because we get the take profit signal. We exit with a tiny, tiny little winner, barely a win there. So that's what it's going to look like. There are some big wins along the way. We get, some pretty big ones. Like this one was decent. But the problem is that you get just so many horrible ones along the way. So we'll fast forward through the 100 tests now, and you'll see what the results are when I cover them. All right, the results are in. Let's take a look. So this was tested on Bitcoin US dollar using a variable risk to reward ratio based on the take profit signals. And also there was a break even stop loss method. So when price goes 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio in the trade's favor, or 2R in the trade's favor, then stop loss is moved to break even at that point. This was tested on the 15-minute time frame, and for the 108 back-tested trades, it took 50 days of price data. So very frequent signals. As you can see, these things fire off like crazy. Now, out of those 108, we have 37 winners, 65 losses, and 6 break-even trades. The average winner was a 1.5846 and so on R. So if risking 1% per trade, that would be plus 1.58% per win on average. And then for the average loss, minus 0.78727 R, or if you were risking 1% per trade, minus 0.787%. So the average loss is not 1% because sometimes the trades, when you exit them based on a flip of this going from red to green or red to gray or green to gray, green to red, sometimes you get out a little bit early, so about halfway to that stop loss, and sometimes right before the stop loss, sometimes way before, just a tiny little loss. So the losses are all over the place, the wins are all over the place, but I just put the averages here, how it all worked out over the series of trades. Now, the big number, gain on the account, risking 1% per trade and not compounding, 7.457%. So terrible, really bad result, and after fees, probably not a lot of profit, if any at all. So this was not a great result for Big Move Algo. I want to know what they did for the 92% win rate. I'm assuming a very large stop loss with a very small take profit, because it's almost impossible to have that 92% win rate unless you have a super wide stop loss and a very small take profit. That's typically the only way to achieve a win rate like that. And so, yeah, that's the result for this test. you can make up your mind what you think about Big Move Algo. I'm sure that there's someone out there using it profitably and has some system with it that's great. Personally, not a huge fan. I've looked at this thing, tried out a few different things, and it's just these signals just fire off like crazy in all directions, no matter what setting I use, whether it be the balance setting or the safe signals, dynamic signals. It's just all over the place with these signals. And so, yeah, you can see the dynamic ones, they fire off even more, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, often when I'm looking at this, the signals that it's giving, I'm thinking, why is it selling at the exact time that I want to be buying if I was trading a strategy that I personally might trade, trying to enter on a pullback at a discount in line with a trend? This just does not make any sense to me where the signals are popping up sometimes. So, it is what it is. That's the review, just some factual data based on the test that I did, specifically not saying anything about the this trading indicator or the team that's selling it, but each person can make up their own mind. But anyway, hope you guys liked it. More random paid indicators coming, and have a great day.